Yo, what's goody, man? This is your boy J3. I gotta make this video. I gotta get this off of my chest. As you can see from the title, I don't know what I'm gonna name it, but it's something about the court system, about the police officers, about the wickedness that goes on inside the courtroom. Right? So I got to witness this firsthand, and off of a traffic ticket. So this is a traffic court for context. Um, so I get pulled over, let's say 4, 5 months ago, in Nashville by a police officer who claims I was on my cell phone while I was driving. I tell the officer straight up, hey brother, you're lying right now. I wasn't on my phone. I asked him if he had that on his car camera, on his body footage, anything, any of the normal questions that one may ask. Especially somebody who doesn't traditionally go with the flow, if you will. So I asked him that. He's like, oh no, I don't have it. He was like, my body camera doesn't click on until I'm off of my motorcycle, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to give you just a quick, I'm going to paint the scene. We're on 5th and Broadway, downtown Nashville. Traffic coming down towards Broadway on 5th Avenue is at a standstill, which it normally is, right? The car in front of me is kind of impeding traffic. They have their flashers on. I believe they're getting a delivery. That's what I think is going on. But they have their flashers on, just waiting around. So they're not going forward whatsoever. Although there is cars, that are just waiting for the light. This officer, Officer Larg, for the Metro Police Department, he sees the guy with the flashers, right? He immediately does a U-turn and he's telling the guy, no, like, don't stop. Don't stop to block traffic, is what he's telling the car in front of me. When the officer completes his U-turn, light turns green, cars are starting to go. The guy with the flashers took his flashers off and just took off. But at this point, the officer is already off of his motorcycle and he's walking up towards my car at this moment, right? So now I roll the window down and he says, why are you on your phone? I say, what are you talking about, brother? I'm not on my phone. He says, I seen you on your phone. Once again, I asked him the basic questions like, can you show me? You got proof of that? He says no. He asked me for my license, for my registration, all that, proof of insurance. I say, no, call your supervisor. This is quick version. He asked me, is there any reason I'm not showing it? I say, is there any reason that you're lying? Is there any reason that you're harassing me? Is there any reason that you're making up this story that I was on my phone? So he doesn't, he's not very thrilled with me at this point, right? Supervisor comes, basically tells me if I don't show them my license, I'm going to go to jail. I say, hey, bucko, I'm not doing it. And I was like, and if you kidnap me, you're going to have to answer for this. There will be repercussions to you taking me to jail for nothing, in my mind, because at this point, I know I wasn't on my phone. So this guy is violating my rights. He's just pulling up on me, telling me to ID myself for this false, accusation. And everybody always says, don't hold court on the side of the road, right? But you might as well, because the fucking court system, they don't do shit anyway, and we'll get to that. So long story short, I don't show my license to the officer nor the supervisor. But and they keep asking me, am I Jalen? Do I live at this address? Blah, blah, blah. They say, I'm sure I know who you are. We've identified you. You know, you can, do you want the ticket is what he kept asking me. I was like, I'm not taking the ticket. I didn't do anything. That's what I told all the officers. So they let me go, right? I get, all the tickets in the mail, and I say I want a court date. So we set up the court date. I go into court. This is the first time I go into court. The first time I go into court, I'm really excited. I'm like, this will be a piece of cake. I'm going to get everything thrown out easily. Once I just tell the judge the truth, this is going to just, you know, they're going to throw it out. I felt like when I was walking in there, bro, I felt like fucking Saul Goodman or somebody, but I feel like Dr. Savy when he, you know, won his case. I'm like, confidence is high. I'm like, this is easy, piece of cake, right? So I walk in, the judge, a woman judge. I don't know, maybe y'all can Google who the traffic court judge is in Davidson County, but she's not good, man. She didn't do shit. She didn't do nothing. Right. So the first time I walk in, she says, hey, you know, what's going on? The officer kicks it off. He kicks it off, was like, man, you know, I'm surprised he, no, he didn't say that. This is what he said. When the judge asked me for my license, my registration, proof of insurance, all of this, all the paperwork, right? This is what I say. I say, Judge, don't you want to focus on the reason I was stopped? Because the whole reason I'm stopped is like, it's a false pretense. Like it didn't happen. He said I'm on my phone. I wasn't on my phone. So therefore, all of this other stuff that you're asking for would therefore fall under fruit from a poisonous tree in my mind, right? She's looking at me crazy. Like she's looking at me like, you didn't bring any of your documents in here. I said, I was like, I don't think you're understanding me. I didn't think I would need them because we're going to deal with the ticket. The whole reason I was stopped was texting and driving, and that didn't happen. So I don't know why I would need to show you all this other work. And then at this point, the officer is looking like, yeah, and the officer starts snitching, right? And he didn't show me. He refused to show me the driver's license. And it doesn't surprise me that he doesn't want to show you. That's what this officer said, right? So the judge says, she looks at me very like concerned, like sincere. She's like, hey, Jalen. She was like, this is what we're going to do. She was like, I'm going to schedule this for a later date. And then we will discuss everything when you come back to court, but just have all of your documents. And then she told me to get my license address changed, right? Because she asked me, is this my address? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. Fast forward a month and a half, right? We got the court date. So now I have I had all the paperwork in the first place. So I got my license. I got my insurance at the time. I had registration. I didn't get my license changed, right? My license address changed. So I walk into court. She's like, hey, I remember you. First thing she asked me is, did you get your license changed? I said, no, ma'am. I said I didn't have time to get my license changed. And then I immediately took that back. I was like, that's actually a lie. I said, I just didn't do it. I've been a little busy, and I didn't do it, right? When I tell her that, her whole demeanor is like, she's like, everything that I say after that, she really didn't care, to be completely honest. Um, she was like, oh, okay. So she took that as a big sign of disrespect in her courtroom, is what I'm guessing. So she didn't want to hear anything else that I had to say. But you know, we have a little back and forth, me and the officer. The officer says, when he gives his account of what happened, first off, he said, unfortunately, he couldn't bring in his video footage because Metro is doing an update on their system, and he doesn't know how to get the court or get the video to show up in court. He doesn't know how to do that yet, apparently. That's what he led off with. But he assured the judge that he watched the video this morning to refresh his memory on what took place, right? So he says, yeah, I watched the video this morning. This young man, even in my video that we magically can't play, he was like, even in the video, he asked me, you know, like, how fast was I going? And he said that I admitted to being on my phone, right? This is a blatant lie. I've never once did I say that. And then, hold on. Got to get a little water. And then I immediately, I guess, I don't know who she is. The lady that's like, she was speaking for everybody else, but I'm capable of speaking for myself. So she was trying to ask him questions, and I said, whoa. I got some questions, right? So I asked the officer, Officer Larg, I said, hey, why would I say how fast was I going if I was texting and driving? I was like, why would I ask that question? And I was like, and traffic was at a standstill. So I was like, why would I ask that? He said, man, I honestly don't know. He said, but that's what you said on my video. Okay. That's weird. Cause I know I didn't, right? I tell the judge, I said, hey, I have a video of our encounter from the time he walked up to my car. I'm recording. I said, I said, I always record the police. I said, because they lie. Now, I said this in court. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but she started chuckling, right? I said, we can watch the video if you would like, because I didn't say any of that. The judge looks at me, right? And she says, no, I'm okay. I've seen enough of you. The judge, the lady who is supposed to, like, the lady who is supposed to have an unbiased opinion, right? I mean, maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm off in this. But the lady who is supposed to make sure justice is served, right? Make sure every citizen has a due process. Make sure, like, court is there for a reason. Court is there for a reason. It's for people who want to fight their tickets, right? And when I present that I have a video that we can watch to disprove what this man just said about me asking how fast I was going and me admitting that I was on my phone, I was like, we can literally, I was like, I could just give you my phone. You could watch it, right? She said, no, I've had enough of you. Now, I'm having a hard time just processing that. Because not only Does she say that? And then at that point, I'm like, oh. I said, I see what's up. I said, well, that's stupid. I was like, well, that's stupid. And I asked the the officer some more questions, like pretty much why are you lying? And the judge says, hey, I know this man. He's a very trustworthy guy. I said, but Your Honor, I said, you don't know me, right? And this is supposed to be court. This is not supposed to be a case of who you've known longer. That's so whoever you've known longer is who you're siding with. Is that what you're telling me? I didn't say that, of course. I wish I would have, but that's not how it's supposed to go. And the beautiful thing about going to court, bro, I was seeing all of the people who were before me. I seen Officer Large or Larg, I don't know his name, right? Some stupid ass name. All of his cases before me was parked illegal on your cell phone. Parked illegal. Cell phone. Driving while on your phone. All of his cases, like, he's not even a police officer. He didn't have not one speeding ticket, not one ran a stop sign, not one ran through a red light. Nothing, bro. It's just all cell phone. I'm like, this guy is literally a secret agent to the court, bro. He's just snatching $50 from every citizen, bro. But what I will say about a lot of these people that was in the court, and listen, if y'all go to court and you gonna say I'm innocent, or plead not guilty, don't get up on the stand and fucking say, nah, I did that shit, but it was only for a second. Like, all of these people, they would get up and say, how do you plead? Not guilty. And then the judge would say, well, let me hear your side of the story. And they would say, well, I do Uber, so I was on my phone just to see. Okay, so you're on your phone. Oh, yeah, I was calling my mom back really quick. Okay, you're on your phone. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, I was pulling up my GPS. Okay, you're on your phone. I was the only person. Now, it could have been people after me. Maybe I set like a trend. I don't know. I didn't stay for the rest of the court. But, maybe people after me was like, no, I actually wasn't on my phone, right? So, like, I got up there. I was the only one that was like, I absolutely was not on my phone. Now what? So now it is what he says versus what I says. But in his situation, he knows the judge. I told the judge, I said, you have no burden of proof. You this man is lying and you're just siding with him. And she wanted to make an example out of me. So although I brought all of that paperwork, she still said I was guilty of everything. Plus the not changing my license, right? So a $50 ticket that I thought would just get thrown out turned into $500 real quick. That quick, right? And the reason why I say it's so wicked is because it's almost as if they try to punish you for giving the court any pushback. It's like, oh, we're gonna show you next time you get a ticket, just pay for it, right? But y'all know me, I'm a rebel, bro. I go against the grain, you feel me? So I'm gonna appeal it. And I'm gonna go see another judge, bro, because this lady in traffic court buns, bro. Straight buns. Buns. And I was shocked, bro. I was shocked. The only thing I kept thinking about was that nigga jumping over the video of that nigga jumping over the court. Now, of course, I wouldn't do that, and I'm not making any threats, but like this lady was so buns. She didn't do nothing, bro. Like it was almost as if it was like her buddy, like the officer was her buddy, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I know him. So whatever you say," because I'm just another guy in her courtroom, so she doesn't care about me. She has no emotional ties towards me. She probably already looked at me crazy because the first time she said, "Hey Jalen, I even get pulled over and I hate it." She was like, "But you always show the police officer your ID." I was like, "Okay." Not me though. We can go the long way, bro. You gonna be petty, I'll be petty too. So my only concern is like, this was something so small, right? A texting and driving ticket. But it showed me how wicked the system is, because let's say this was something more serious and I was like fighting for my freedom, fighting for my life. You know what I mean? Like, I would be devastated if that's all the process. Like, I would be devastated if somebody could, like, and the judge didn't like me, right? So let's say she could give me the max amount of time because she gave me the maximum amount of fines that I needed to pay for, right? So that evil in her spirit goes through, like, imagine if she was handing out time, bro. That's all I was thinking about. I'm like, bro, this whole thing is wicked. I really don't know another word besides that. Because while I was in it, and me, especially me knowing I literally was not on my phone. That's the only part that bothers me. Because this guy walked up to my car and just defrauded me out of, well, I'm about to appeal it, so that's gonna be another, what, $250, right? And like he just like took money out of my kid's mouth, right? For lying. Literally for lying. And once an officer lies, they kind of have to, we've seen it over and over, time and time again, they have to stick with the lie. And he's gonna ride it out. So let's say I was fighting for time. This officer could have said, yeah, he also has some weed on him, some cocaine, some guns. He had a body in the trunk. I think he was drinking. He could have just threw all this shit on me. And then the judge would have just been like, well, hey, Officer Larg he's trustworthy. I know him. And there's my freedom. There's my freedom. Gone like that. Bro, that, like, I just wanted to, that's all I got. That's the story. My court story. I will give y'all an update for sure, man. But I just find that crazy, man. It's fucked up. That's really what it is. It's fucked up because they can do whatever they want to do. And if you're fighting a good fight, if you're standing on your rights, I salute you. It takes a lot to actually affect change, bro. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of people who just gonna like eat a couple fines, bro. It takes a lot of people to actually ignite change, because what just happened to me is bullshit. But I'm not even complaining because it's not like life or death. You know, it's just some money. Not even a week of work, you know what I mean? So not even, you know what I mean? So I'm not like big tripping, but a lot of people would never buck the system. Like I'll be real. Most people, I'll say nine out of 10 people, they'll just pay the fine and just go on about their day, right? Which in theory, it'll save you a lot of time and a lot less money, to be completely honest. If you just go ahead and pay the little $50, $75, whatever it is, $60, $75 for texting and driving. It'll save you a lot, but it's the principle. It's the principle for me. And that's a hill that I'll be on, bro. Salute. Y'all bless up, man. Let me know what you think in the comments, bro. Fuck 12. Fuck the court system. Fuck all that weak ass shit, man. Bless up.